Hold on.
Oh, good morning, YouTube. Thank you for already being here, Dawn and Nate. I see you there in the chat already. Look, since last Friday's live, we have had the Super Bowl game happen this week, and Taylor Swift won. And sadly, on that same day, we had a shooting at Joel Olstein's church. Some woman walked in with a rifle, followed by Valentine's Day celebration, only to be followed with another shooting at the Super Bowl parade in Kansas City. I mean, a lot of stuff has gone on in our world just since our last meeting on Friday. None of them Amazon related, but I just felt I wanted to mention it. So I hope all of you guys enjoyed Super Bowl if you watched it and had a nice Valentine's Day. I live in Las Vegas and I live about 15 minutes from the Raiders Stadium. And so when the Jets flew over, they're always so cool. And Lucy grew up here, so I know she knows what I'm talking about. You know, when we were kids, you just would see them practicing flying. It was not an unusual event. And now you just don't really see the Thunderbirds out there like that. So because I live so close and they fly so fast, I immediately hopped off the couch, ran out to my patio, and watched them fly over the house. And it's always just so majestic to see that in person. And I wished I had grabbed my phone if I had been thinking and filmed it. And then on Valentine's Day, my husband and I went to the casino, gambled a little at the slots, and lost our money. And then we followed it up with seeing the Bob Marley movie, One Love, which I enjoyed. I wish it had been longer. And how was your week?
Well, we too have the Blue Angels that practice here every summer, and then they shut down the highway, and it's just a mess because they shut down the highway and they fly around, and it's loud and it's fun, but I don't really get to see them because I have too many trees in my yard.
Yeah.
If I'm out at a higher point, then it's kind of fun to see them.
Yeah.
Have the space. We went out to a fancy steak restaurant last night, had a really good steak, and that was fun. My son's coming in tonight, and we'll be here for this weekend, and I probably shouldn't say anything, but he gave somebody flowers, so I'm tickled. I don't think I can say much more about that, and I don't know much more about that. He's being super secretive with me on the who's and the what's and the whys and all the things. So
I like surprises like that. Sometimes that's really fun.
I don't know. I'm not sure a whole lot of surprises like that.
So before we jump into the things we were going to talk about, I wanted to address Dawn's question here.
That won't be the first one. Let's do it.
Yeah, so she says, "Good morning. I have a pre-show question. I spent the last year caring for my mom full time until her recent passing. I'm sorry, Dawn. That just is so hard. I was unable to sell on Amazon. It looks like they wanted me to reestablish credentials. After that, I find that things I was once ungated for seem to be gated, such as books and all of the things. Any suggestions on having my previous ungatings reinstated? I didn't know that Amazon regates you when they make your account inactive, so that really stinks. The only bit of advice I can say is if you happen to have any purchases, receipts that were in the last 180 days that could serve as invoices for ungating. Again, usually those they always accept them at 180-day mark. You can maybe try to upload some older ones and see if they don't pay attention to the date stamp if you happen to have 10 units of a particular brand for you to get re-ungated in. But that sure does stink.
That is unfortunate, but not unheard of. So I know that you kind of have to reestablish. There are some different changes to the game. They have made a lot of changes in the last year and a half. And it's frustrating, especially if you have older listings, older things, older accounts, to try and get the core, the foundation of your account fixed up to then build. And getting ungated, though, is not very hard. It's super easy to get ungated. That's the good part, is it's really easy to get ungated now. And I would just start applying an auto, trying to get those auto ungates.
Mm-hmm.
Apply for everything. And the more you get ungated for it, the more you will have then access to later. So don't forget to go and open up your drafts once a week and reapply to all of them. Just click on them. I hit the control click and open them all up, see if anything's triggered for reapproval, and go from there. If you are needing to be re-verified, that's pretty easy too. Make sure the address on file is good. I had to re-verify when I switched my bank accounts, so they sent me a little envelope. It was not very hard, but if you don't live there or you are no longer have access to that address, then it's going to be very hard. And if you miss it, then it becomes even harder. So good morning, John, Nate, Millennial Monty Mom, April. Nice to see you guys all here. We have there's a lot of announcements this week. So which one did you want to start with, Miss Tina?
Well, I don't know if anyone else has ever gotten an email suggesting that you sell some of your ASINs as a case pack. But I recently just got an email from Amazon recommending that I sell 2 items in my inventory as case packs, along with a suggestion of how many of them should be in that said case pack. So I thought that was interesting. It reminds me of the page where Amazon for your in stock suggests what you should have in stock, which sometimes is funny because I know you got this recently as well, Lucy. Valentine's is now over with, but they're suggesting you replenish these Valentine gifts, we recommend you send in 200 more of these Valentine, chocolates. So it was interesting. The 2 items they recommended to me, it made sense why, because they are a couple of items I sell that people happen to buy in multiples already. And this is a screenshot of a portion of the email that they sent to me. And when I clicked the purple button on add case pack, it took me to my account page where they had suggestions. Now, anybody can go to this section in their Amazon account and check if Amazon possibly has recommendations for you. And I believe we can try to enroll our own products there. I believe we can. I have not deep dived into it. And I think we have a link for you if you are interested in looking into your own account. Because selling case packs is a nice way to sell a whole bunch of one thing. And
I don't have a link for that.
Huh?
I don't have a link for that.
Oh, I thought I had put it in our private chat.
I got one for the ships and product packaging for the next topic. Don't. But you can find it in a minute.
Yeah, no, I do have it in our private chat. There is a link there.
No, there's only one.
Here, well, I'll put it again.
Where am I looking at StreamYard or am I looking at Facebook?
No, I'm putting it here in StreamYard in our private chat.
Okay.
Again.
Yeah, that's not it, huh? That's the packing.
Oh, interesting. For me, it takes me right to case pack. That's so weird.
It says ships and product packaging. Here, I'll show you.
No, I believe you, but for me, it actually takes me to case packs. That link, that's another link that I gave you. And in our private chat, if it links to this page, that's really strange because it links to me for case pack.
Oh, I see okay, never mind. I'm the idiot.
Oh, okay. I just was thinking it was a weird glitch.
No, I was just looking at the other.
So if anybody is interested in learning about case pack recommendations and seeing if you're in your account, if you have any ASINs Amazon is personally recommending for you of your inventory, maybe you sell pencils for school and you sell them, the way they come packaged as 8 pencils in a thing. And now it's going to be back to school time and Amazon, and maybe people are already buying them in multiples of 5 from you. You could sell them as a case pack of 5 pencils and get into the business of selling case packs, which can really open you up to business buyers on Amazon. There's a lot of Amazon business accounts, corporations, their office buildings will buy, say, Scotch tape in case packs or computer paper. So getting in the case pack market on Amazon can be very profitable.
I tried to share the link and I'm getting an error when trying to share it on your your channel.
Oh, I'll put it there.
I can't get my Gmail to show right on my phone either. I swear, every time they update something, I do an update, it breaks 3 more things.
Yeah.
Very. See, now yours worked.
I don't
Okay.
know. Computers are being computery, but at least this week you are on camera. Remember last week you had to have the Lucy face because your computer was not computering?
Oh my God. Yeah. My computer, it's to the point where my husband is now going to get me a new setup at home, and then that one will go here, and this one, I don't know, this one I want to chuck out the window, so we'll see
Yeah.
what happens. But I'm shop I don't want to say shopping for a new computer, because we usually just take parts and build one, so we don't go to the store and buy one. Love business customers, yes. All right, this says you go to Seller Central and go to the B2B to B2B Central. So this is my problem with Amazon. Where is this? Because I live in Amazon every day, and I have never seen B2B to B2B Central. Where is that?
I don't know. Now, do not click on the link where it says case pack recommendations, because it will actually link into your account of your case pack recommendations. So you maybe don't want to do that on live, but for everybody else, when you go to this page and you click on case pack recommendations, the blue letters next to where Lucy was highlighting the B2B, that will actually take you to items in your account that Amazon will recommend that you can do case packs. And in your order page, if you've ever paid attention, if a business customer is buying your item, it says business customer next to them. So you can see that there are always business customers buying from us that have business accounts. You can also adjust your pricing in Seller Central for business customers. So if you look at your inventory in your Amazon account, just on your manage inventory page, you'll see all your inventory there and what your price is on your price box. There is another little box to the right of that price box, and that one is for business customer pricing. So if you wanted to offer Amazon business customers $1 or $2 less as a perk for being a business customer and to help boost sales, that's always an option that you can do as well.
I found it. I don't know if people are posting that they found it too. So just a second, I'll show you where it all is. But it is towards on the little 3 little lines, all the way down, all the way down. Let's see here.
And I'm curious, any of you watching, have you ever looked into this section of your Amazon account? Nate says that they do business to business discounts. That's awesome. I'm curious if any of you have ever sold case packs, if you've ever seen if any of your products were eligible to enroll. Do you do business pricing, or is this new information to you? I always like to gauge what we're telling you, if it's information that you've already known or not. Because I like bringing you new, fresh ideas.
Whenever I get business recommendations, they want me to be so cheap with it. I'm like, it's already cheap. I can't do cheaper.
Yeah. And you don't have to. I mean, but if you had a particular item that you think, wow, businesses might buy this in bulk versus the average Amazon customer is going to buy 1 unit, it may be worth it for you to offer 50 cents, $1 off.
They want to buy all my bras
10 versus 1. Yeah.
They want to buy all my Burlington bras at discount.
I don't know if a business customer is going to do that, but.
Thrifting and Flippin says I do business pricing. Never knew about it. Yep. I am new to this as well. Sweet. Those things I mainly sell aren't typically business items. Exactly. I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
How did you get to the case pack from inventory?
I put a link up above. Lucy and I, whoever's channel you're watching, you should see in this comment section the link that we put, unless you're talking about this screen right here.
Yeah. So on the 3 little lines, scroll down. So there's reports, payments, performance. It's where they're always adding things. So B2B, which I really have never gone in and looked at because I don't really sell many B2B. You can do your B2B Central, and then down at the bottom is case pack recommendations.
Yeah,
so that's how you get to it.
Yeah. So it's clicking what I call the hamburger in the far left-hand corner of our Amazon account, the 3 lines when you're in Amazon Seller Central. I refer to it as the hamburger. I don't know what everyone else calls it,
It
but
is. It is.
click on your hamburger and you'll scroll down and you will see it there.
And I didn't realize that that was the official terminology of it. And I thought my husband was making things up. I'm like, you just making that up? He's like, no, it really is called a hamburger. And then
It's a Whopper.
it's a Whopper. It's a Whopper. All right. We got Sherry. Good morning, Sherry. I see that Amazon is sometimes the buyers on my orders. Do you know what's going on with that? Yes. Yes, I do. So two things. They're either selling it within the state or they're selling it out of the country. And if it's within the state, sometimes they will have customers that, let's say Tina only was selling one of these coffee cups and the customer had it damaged and they selected that they want another one sent to them, but Tina's out of stock. Amazon might buy it from my stock and then send it to the customer. They also do out of country. It's defaulted on. If you go up to your settings and go through your, what is it called? It's like global sales. It's not you sell the product, but there's a global setting that if Amazon wants to sell your product in another country and you have it on, they will buy it from you. So you'll just see a sale from Amazon and then they sell it to, I don't know, somebody in we'll say Germany, and they cut the difference. So if I'm selling this for $12, they may sell it over in Germany for $25 and they profit off of the difference. And you either turn it on or off. There's no other settings in that.
Right. And it's like, why would you turn it off? I want it on.
Well, I guess if you were doing something proprietary or if you had something that was maybe illegal over in other countries.
Sure. I suppose Amazon wouldn't make it available in those countries.
One would think, but Amazon doesn't always make sense.
And then the next little tidbit that I had wanted to share is Amazon is rolling out something new, but it was something old before. So they're calling it SIPP, which SIPP, which stands for Ships in Product Packaging. It's just really an acronym. It used to be called Ships in Product Container. So now they are rolling out the Ships in Product Packaging, offering you lower fees. Do you have the screenshot I shared with you? It was from what do you call that? I never really go in there, that Amazon chat, if you will. Somebody had posted about it a couple weeks ago in the Amazon chat, breaking down the fees that you would save. Essentially, if your product is shipped to Amazon in ship-ready packaging, you will pay lower fees. And sometimes my items are shipped to Amazon that way. For instance, here we go. We've launched the Ships in Product Packaging SIPP program, formerly known as Ship in Own Container. This program allows FBA sellers to ship products in their custom brand packaging without Amazon added material. SIPP allows the following features for FBA sellers. You get a lower FBA fulfillment fees, so that's worth it. And so you could click the link there. Of course, this was something I saw in my email. I'm sure if you type in this lower FBA fulfillment, that title there, you can find that, in Amazon's little chat, if you will, to click that link. Actually, I think that link is the link that I do have ready to share. I take that back. So you could get lower FBA fees and blah, blah is the next two. If you ask me, all I care about is lowering my fees. So you can enroll ASINs in that qualify. And this is the link. So this is the link for you to click for the US seller Amazon ship enrollment. The link is provided in the chat if you guys are interested in going into that page and seeing if any of your ASINs qualify. And you should know if some of your ASINs qualify. For instance, I have some items that think of breakable. Maybe I'm going to sell a salt and pepper shaker and I already have it packaged in my box and it's ship ready. I package breakables like that because I don't trust Amazon with them. So something like that, I would be able to qualify for it shipping in product packaging and help lower my fees on those items. So I think today would be a good day for everybody to think about that, or think about repackaging some of your items if that savings would be worth it. This page here, where Lucy's highlighting things, lays out if your products would qualify.
What is this? So ISTA 6 lab test. One PDF test report is required.
Now, I don't know about that part.
Well, okay. So we got to look into this a little bit more.
And I just discovered this yesterday. So
Oh, yeah.
I did not participate in it. I don't have experience with it. But I was going to spend some time this weekend going through my inventory and going on this page and seeing if any of my items would qualify, items that I think on my end do qualify.
It is interesting. And I want to say, so we watch the markets, right? And here's where we're at right now. There is a ton of Temu and Shein being sold. eBay just laid off a whole bunch of employees. Walmart is trying to get a piece of the online pie. And really, we've all been sitting here worried about Walmart competing with Amazon, but really Temu and Shein are going to be the ones that are competing with Amazon. And they do they're doing a lot of listings, and we're seeing more and more items that are from Temu and Shein on Amazon as products, and they are listing their stuff there, and it's been dirt cheap, and they are doing the shipping in the product there, because I ordered some Easter tablecloths, and they are coming in package, basically just shipping out and putting the label on the outside of them. So this has been going on, and some products I think it's great for, but other products maybe not so much. And I don't know how much in fees you're saving, but if you're selling 10,000 t-shirts, then I'm sure it adds up. If you're selling, one or two items here and there, then it's not
Lucy, if you actually click about enrolling your product on the US, click that first before you share your screen, and that way you can scroll down a bit. When in regards to asking about that testing, there is that third box says testing. You can do a self-test where you don't have to have a lab test, and they tell you what those requirements are. So I have a feeling I do have products available to qualify for that. It says self-test, applicable if the product weighs, is non-fragile, does not contain liquids or sharp items, and is not granular, with a diameter less than 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters. So then they give you a link on how to test the packaging and record the results. So that is interesting. So possibly we can just be our own self-testers if we have any products that would fall within that parameter.
This is 1 inch.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, yep. Temu had Super Bowl commercials, and I'm like, they're...
And then I realized I was saying Temu wrong this whole time once I saw the commercials.
What were you saying?
The Temu commercials, I paid attention. They kept saying Temu. They were calling it Temu on the commercial.
Oh, shoot. Is it? Is Temu?
I guess so, but they need to change it to Temu, because that's what all of us say.
Oh, I don't know if I'd get stock in Temu. Whatever. I'm going to call it Temu. I can't do that. So my daughter and I, we've had this talk, but Shein and Temu, I believe, are owned by the same parent company, and they have gotten into some major, major problems with selling people's information and this and that. That's why I set up my Temu account, and I was cognizant of that if this information got sold or whatnot, just to be aware. I almost got phished the other day, and it was really good. Some of these phishing scams are getting really good. Anyhow, I don't know how firm that company is going to be, because they are selling at a loss. There was a Netflix documentary that went into it, and they are selling at a loss so that they could establish themselves. So I don't know what the end game is, because are they just going to get established and then jack the prices up? Are they trying to get into Amazon? Or are they, what? You can't maintain a business at a loss without some sort of long-term plan. And they do have other branches to the business, but it's interesting to watch. It's definitely interesting to watch. And I got my first shipment this week from Temu, and it was okay. I would say some of the stuff was a little bit not quite what I thought it was going to be. I ordered some hand towels for the kitchen, and they were that fabric that's kind of like at the dollar store that I don't like. It kind of sticks to your fingers. It's the microfibery stuff, so I didn't like that. I bought some pants, and all the pants fit, so I was really excited about that. I bought a shirt, and it was cut weird, so I'm returning the shirt. And I bought the tablecloths off of Amazon, but I know they were off of. I've been looking because we do a lot of bundles, so we were like, I dove into Temu one day and found that Temu's already on Amazon under a different name, and they already have all of their stock on Amazon under a different name. It's not called Temu. It was something weird.
Some other name they're using.
Yeah, some other name, but it's either them or it's got to be like their brother. I mean, it was really ridiculous. There's no way they can sell some of that stuff at those prices. My tablecloths were $10-12. And while, yes, I can get them now for $3 or $4, back when we were looking back in Christmas time, there's no way that I could have paid full price and put them on that price unless I wanted to make a nickel or a dime or whatever it was. And then the other problem was getting physical quantity. If they say they're selling 50 tablecloths or 100 tablecloths on Amazon, you can't buy that many on Temu. It says, we only have 2 or 3 or 10 left in stock.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting. PharmaPacks, I'm sorry, you sold at a loss.
No, PharmaPacks, the company. So do you remember PharmaPacks? They were a big giant
seller.
You
sold at a loss.
Yeah. All of their products they were. And of course that they went out of business due to that.
Wait, hold on. Okay, so PharmaPacks went out of business because they sold at a loss, or you lost stock because you were buying stock in Temu. I took it as you had stock.
I took it like that they had the same kind of business model as Temu and were selling at a loss.
Interesting. Yeah.
That's one thing when we read that, that's such a good example of how when you read things, how it's interpreted differently, the same sentence.
Yeah, exactly. We were talking about Ozempic last night. I think as the drug for diabetes that can be also used for weight loss. And it's getting a lot of heat in the market now because celebrities are using it for weight loss and whatnot. Anyhow, I have a friend who's on it, and my husband looked at it, and insurance wasn't going to cover it. It was $1,200. Well, our other friend is now getting it off of some website for $300. And I'm like, what are we doing now? Is it really that the medical thing was jacked up so much that it was $1,200, or are they getting some like diluted thing? What are we getting for $300?
There's different. It goes under different names, but I think it was jacked up from the doctors.
It could have been. I know that I tried to get pharmaceutical products from Canada shipped here, and some of the products I was trying to get were not allowed to get here. They went across the border. And I know a lot of people go to Mexico to get drugs. I'm not against that either, but interesting prices. It's all about prices. Okay, so what else did we had? Hold on.
Yeah, I think that's why, is it Mark Cuban, as far as one of the shark investors, is trying to change the pharmaceutical industry with the way that they are just overcharging people.
I have different feelings about it because I do believe that we need to fund the research for new things. I would love to see a cure for cancer, and I love to see new medical, but gouging people on medical supplies for profits, I am not for that. That is that the whole structure of how we evaluate insurance and research companies needs to have a little bit of restructuring.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we want to talk about Inventory Lab.
Oh, that's right. So a big buyer in the Amazon tool industry, the company 3Colts, they slowly over the years keep acquiring more and more softwares. And they're going to become a monopoly of software. I think it's great for the people who say own Inventory Lab. When Inventory Lab was new, I actually met the young man who created it and owned it at a conference, and they were brand new at that time. He was very young. So I say good for him, because I'm sure it has made him very rich, as the software has made him rich over the years. Look how many of us use it. So Inventory Lab has now been acquired by Three Colts, who, if you guys maybe remember, Three Colts also had taken over Tactical Arbitrage, which was a big software. It predated Helium 10. And Tactical Arbitrage was early on. I also met the owner who created Tactical Arbitrage. He was a nice man from Australia. And we met at a Airbnb house party here one year with a group of Amazon selling friends that came out here for a conference. And he sold it enough to retire. So he and his wife don't have to work, and they can raise their kids in beautiful Australia. So good for the ones that created it, that sell it to Three Colts. But is the quality going to stay the same when the original owner and founder who had a passion for it isn't running it anymore? And how is it going to affect pricing and everything else? That's what always worries me when you have a monopoly, if you will, of owning softwares.
They're going to jack the price up. We need seller. What's the other one? Seller board.
Seller board, seller bench, all of those, seller locker. When they all start with the name seller, I get confused.
Well, here's my thoughts on it. Seller board has been threatening to do inventory management and having the, where you can make your shipments through seller board. But if they get their act together and Three Colts jacks up the price or ruins the product, they could have an in.
Mm-hmm.
That would be their way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, more glitches. They'll probably jack the price up. When you no
seller bench, BE-inch, like coach. You're on the put the player on the bench.
That should be your new name.
What? That would be a great software to have. If I invent it, will you buy it? Because I love it.
That's what we gotta do. We gotta. It's a repricer.
It will be popular just because of the name alone. I am your seller.
Oh my God. All right, I think we have at least two more things to go over. First, I wanted to say, did you get the drop down for Brazil?
I have not looked. I'm going to have to log into my account and look really quick. Did you?
I did. I have not clicked on it. I should click on it, but I saw that yesterday. So they are rolling out, and it looks like it's going to be.
Yeah, and when we had Bradley from Helium 10 on, he announced that was coming.
Yeah. I don't know if it. Hold on. I can look, but I bet you. I just don't know if it's going to be.
No, when I drop down on mine, I just see Mexico, Canada, USA. I have all those other ones turned off, like how it has Japan, United Kingdom. I've always had those turned off. But no, for now, I only see the 3 North America ones.
Okay. Well, I finally got Brazil, and their dollar starts with an R. What does Brazil have?
I don't know, because I want to say rubles, but I don't think that.
All right. And then the dashboard's kind of changed too. I didn't know if you'd seen that. They now have ad sales on there, ad impressions, global promotions. I was like, dang, I keep adding things to the dashboard. And then on the phone keeps updating too every time I look at the phone. What's it called? Reels?
I don't know. It says REAIS. It says. So I don't know if it's Reyes. I'm not sure. REAIS, Reyes.
She says it's called Reel. So that's what it's called, I guess. I don't go to Brazil much, as you can tell. But I wouldn't mind selling in Brazil, but I don't know anything about the program. And then, on the phone, man, I keep getting all sorts of new buttons on the dashboard there. It's like now I can scroll and your whole dashboard on the phone is big. And they've added some good things, though, because you can now kind of go in and look at different orders and do some more options on the phone that weren't available, which was kind of frustrating during Q4 if you needed to do a return or do something more complex and you had to go go to the computer versus I can now do it while I'm in line at the grocery store or something. Oh yes, real is pronounced
Rail.
Rail.
Okay.
Cool.
The only
What?
thing I don't like about the update on the Amazon app, and so I no longer use it except on a very rare occasion, is their calculator. You know, where we plug in how much. It's just,
Yeah,
I hate
yeah.
that. They ruined it. They made it so hard to use.
I tried to do it once, and it was like you took something that was easy to use, and now you made it more hard to use, and you didn't add to that. That needs to be refixed up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we had one other question. I am having problems with my normal variation. I have G10 exemption. When I try to insert an ASIN or G10, it is a meds. So I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But yes, the add a variation has changed, and working in that whole system is just, I swear every week I'm noticing something different with the variation wizard, with those types of things. So for this person, I didn't write down their name, so apologies, but when you are trying to do variations and work with the variation wizard and you have G10 exemption, etc., what you sometimes have to do, if you only have the option for UPC code, or like they even took ISBN away. I'm like, why did we take ISBN away? Or maybe it's only for categories that would have an ISBN, and that's why it's not showing on non-categories. But if you have to have UPC or GTIN, then you need to go make the listing on its own and then do a flat file and choose ASIN on the dropdown, and or go into your variation edit and have that. But I've had that sometimes where you cannot add a G10 exempt to a variation without making the listing first and then adding it in that way. It's stupid. I don't know the fix. I don't know if it's broken or if they intentionally made it that way. Have you ever stepped back and you're like, did Amazon make it this way just so that they would have less people doing this, or
Yeah, because it's like, okay, this worked for 3 years and now today it just doesn't work anymore. So Hustle and Grow has a question. So I went to do a shipment in Inventory Lab of about 900 units. Usually it's 3 fulfillment centers. This time it wanted me to send to 5, and then 3 of them was only 3 to 35 units. I canceled it and listed on Walmart. Yes, Amazon rolled out a new program due to 2024 changes that are going to be slowly implemented through the first quarter of this year. So Amazon is going to start charging us. So let me step back a little bit. In Inventory Lab, when maybe this 900 units went to all one warehouse nearest your home, or to 3 different warehouses, possibly it would divide it up to, and now you're getting a lot more shipments that it wants you to create. Amazon now in 2024, starting in April, is going to start charging us for those fulfillment center transfers. So, if your shipment all went to your nearest warehouse, and then some of it gets checked in and is active, but then you see so many units reserved because they're in fulfillment center transfer, Amazon is now going to start charging us for that if we elect to have all of our stuff go to one warehouse. So what they're doing now to eliminate them having to do fulfillment center transfers, they are giving us more shipment boxes, like what happened to you in this case. So it's now going to all of these warehouses, so they don't have to do it. So that's why this is happening. Now, you can stay in this program if you don't want to have to pay this fulfillment center transfer fee that they're going to be charging us, or you can opt out of it. And
I'm bringing it up.
I know Lucy's bringing up what the program is called. We've talked about it a couple of times before, not that you watch every week, but I always forget the name of it. So then it's a matter of a math thing. Once they roll this out in April, we can see the math of it all if we want to elect to opt out of this program and do shipments the way we've always been able to, and see how much they end up hitting us in fees. Or you can just go ahead and, multiple destinations program. So it's called multiple destinations program. So you can open a case in Amazon. So you're going to go in a case log, open up a case asking to be opted out of this, and your shipments will go back to how they always were, or you stay in it. Another option or workaround that I can recommend to you is in Inventory Lab on your beginning page where you are starting to create a new shipment. Rather than just quickly hit to move forward, if you pay attention, you have a couple of drop down menus on that page in Inventory Lab. And one of them is for you to make this shipment as a case pack. Now, with that being said, case packs have to be all the same ASIN. So if you have one ASIN of barbecue sauce, for instance, you're sending in this Kraft mesquite barbecue sauce, and you have 100 units of them. You can tell Amazon you're sending that you tell Inventory Lab this is a case pack. Now, maybe you're only able to fit in 30 bottles in a case to not go over the weight limit for your box. You can send in 3 cases of 30 units of barbecue sauce. That way, you know that you're getting that many units in one box as a case pack shipped to one warehouse. So that is one possible workaround for doing that. So, that's my suggestion.
All right. So she asks, following up, do you think it'd be cheaper to send in the smaller shipments over paying per unit? So how you could save is by doing case packs. Case packs will make it so that that whole case doesn't get broken up into different things. So they'll just say ship a case here, ship a case there, ship a case there, and then give you the labels for each of those. The other thing you could do is LTL is going to be cheaper. I don't know how heavy, but 900 units, unless if they're feathers, might weigh a little bit, and LTL would be good. The other thing to check, because I know we got a lot of places in Amazon to check things, is this is under whatchamacallit, this is under your settings, your fulfillment settings. Go up to the gear, go all the way down, second from last, right before log out. It's there. This is where you can allow Amazon to buy my products to sell globally. So it defaults to enabled. And I'll replicate my deal experience, buy my products, and sell globally. It used to just be this. Now they've added another line. Like I said, every time I look, they have something new, and they don't send you an email saying now we have a new thing here. But whatever. Make sure this is set to distributed inventory placement if you want to have the cheaper setting, because if you have it not there, you will go to one center, but then they charge an arm and a leg to do the fulfillment transfer areas. And then the next 2 settings, your unfulfillable settings and your fulfillable settings, you're going to want to make sure you go through that. If you're a new seller, go through these settings, and it's really nice. You can learn more, hit that learn more, and figure out what is going on, how to do it. For
now, I'm opted out of it. I'm going to stay opted out of it until I have to opt in because I want my life to be easy up until the final moment.
This is different. This is not what we were talking about earlier.
Oh, okay.
So there's 2 things. There is the crud. What did we call it? Multiple destinations program. The multiple destinations program is different than the inbound. Oops, hold on. Multiple destinations thing is different than this distributed inventory placement settings. There are 2 different spots.
Okay, now I'm with you. It took it. My brain was like, burp, burp. Yeah. I was still on the other page.
Sorry, there's 2 spots. Just gotta look, and it is very confusing. I don't know why, and I gotta think that they're going to get rid of one. Like they're going over to that one and going to get rid of this one. But they've been saying on the stupid inventory dashboard. There's one that at the top they've said, oh, we're getting rid of this dashboard. The FBA dashboard has said for the last year and a half that, of course, it's not on there right now, but one of them has said that we will be phasing out this dashboard in 2023. And I kept going, please do. I hate this dashboard. Let it go. Let it go. Anyhow, it was the default when you got done with something. I always shoved you to that dashboard. And it was
I just looked at mine where you were looking at, and mine is set like yours is. I haven't had to change anything here for so long that it is good to come back here and look from time to time. Because like you said, new things popped up.
Oh, yeah. You're like, it's so weird. You'll be doing things and you're like, oh, the button's here, the button's here, the button's here. And then all of a sudden, wait a minute, what happened? What happened?
Yeah.
On your inventory FBA dashboard, just FYI, it's now showing you opportunities. Like I have listing in Europe and Japan, they want 141 SKUs have potential sales over in there. So it's weird how they're trying to get more and more global, which is interesting to watch. All right, Miguel, what is
Miguel has a good question. Yes, we've had this happen.
recently I got a lot of split variations from the parent ASIN, especially on clothing. How do you go about that? I heard from other sellers to write seller support. No, don't do that. Have you done that? That is a good waste of time, man. If you want to go and do that, I would rather go and watch some paint dry. You'll have about the same level of response.
Mm-hmm.
And I would not do that. To get the variations back on, what they did was basically the nodes got changed and you need to go do a flat file. So learn how to do a flat file. We do flat files in our bundle group all the time. Like, I don't know, flat file. I got to do some more work in some bundle and some in there and some flat files. But the easiest way is to go pull the template from the variation wizard. So go add a product, bottom right, variation wizard, pop in any of the ASINs that's still on the variation, one of the ones that are still on. And then you'll have the opportunity to generate a new template down below, or you can try adding them. Sometimes if I have the UPC handy, I'll add it and then generate the template. But if not, just generate the template and then expand the template and go fill it all out and then upload that. And it usually takes a few tries to get it all the kinks worked out. I've got a brain scratcher on the one that I did yesterday for a
flat files are not fun. They are doable, but they are not fun.
No, but I was going to say, if you have time after this, I need help looking at it because it says that my attributes are already associated with another listing, and I'm like, what? Anyhow, I don't know. Sometimes at the end of the day, yesterday, it was just not making sense. You ever read something from Amazon like 50 times, and you're like, I am not a stupid person. I should be able to understand this. Basic communication from Amazon, but it's not. You know what? I'm almost going to have to bring it up to share.
Yeah, and then sometimes I'll look at it the next day, and then I'm like, oh, I get it now. And then other times it's like it will never make sense ever. Yeah, some of these seller responses you get from in your case log are ridiculous. What they say, and they respond back and answer you to a question you didn't even ask.
Yeah, I had that. I applied for Bath and Body Works again.
I'm going to answer Miguel while you're looking this up. Miguel, you find generally the parent in the variation wizard. Generally, you can find that that's where the parent is. So I'm assuming that this is not your listing. You didn't create it.
Oh, yeah. If you didn't create it, you're screwed. Sorry, Miguel. I should have softened that blow a little bit. But if you're not the owner and there's other people on the listing, you cannot make the changes. I had one today.
If you're the only person on the listing and not the owner, sometimes you can.
I had to pull two products back, or one product right before we were talking here, and it was because the nodes got messed up, and I tried making a case. You basically cannot fix it if it's not yours. So there's very few cases in which you can. Sometimes you can add variations, like if you have Nike socks or something, you can add the new color onto that variation. And then it also depends on what you have approval with. This is another thing Tina and I play with. We talked about this yesterday, but I had
your evil fingers.
I have an Easter bundle, and she had an Easter bundle, and I said, "Can you throw mine onto your listing?" And I gave her my ASIN, and I'm like, "Well, you can just copy and paste it." She actually was able to add that ASIN onto the variation, but she has approval to list under the brand. So
it's the trickery that I do.
Mm-hmm. How is it that you find the parent ASIN easily once it is splitted?
Yeah, I had answered that when you were looking up something.
Yeah. Okay.
And Nate says Elizabeth started her Trello. Does she love it? We love Trello.
I love it. Okay, so this is the one that I may have to have you, but I thought I'd share with the group so that y'all know. This is the kind of cred you get back. An 8541 and an 8803, which is fine. But the SKU data provided is different from what's already in the catalog. The standard product ID data provided matches ASIN blah, 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 but the following data is different than what's already in the Amazon category. And they're talking about the child name. And I love how they don't put quote. It's like 2 quote letters.
Right.
This is right for your product. Update your data to match what's in the catalog. If it's not right, make sure that your data for the product ID is correct. And I swear to God, I read that 50 times yesterday, and I still am not sure what I need to do.
And of course, this ASIN isn't even yours. So,
no,
yeah.
I play in this account. So, not play, but I manage this account. And so I've got to go, I've got to figure that out because I got to get this last one. And it was like all the other children went back onto the ASIN, but one. And I'm like, why just one? Why just one? I don't know. Anyhow, I've got to play with that today, and that I have to put a set aside time, and it's in my Trello board to kind of work on these types of projects because they are head scratchers for sure.
Yeah, and sometimes that's where we just got to walk away from things. Sometimes
That's what happened yesterday.
Sucking up too much time, and I got other things I need to do. Just walk away. Once I get really aggravated with something, I have to walk away, and I'll tell my husband to do the same. He'll get so mad to where you're like ready to throw the thing, and I'm like, if you're that mad and that you're not going to solve it because now you're like to the point of frustration, you have to walk away. Choose your battles. You can come back to it later.
Re-download the file. Right. Piece of junk. Piece of junk. All right. What else do we got? What do you got going on today?
Oh my gosh. Today I went yesterday because I have been eagerly awaiting some Easter items to hit the stores. And I know some states put their stuff out sooner than others. And as you know, one of the things I'm looking for, you were able to get like last week. And so here, they're still not in the stores. And this always makes me so angry. With Amazon sellers, they'll post pictures of like, oh, my Target has whatever out. And I'm, trying to find these things at my store. And 3 weeks later, they're finally in stock. So it just infuriates me because I want mine now. So yesterday I went out. Valentine's was over. I thought for sure, they're already loading the shelves up with the Easter things. And they were, loading up with some Easter things, but not the specific Easter things that I want. So I think hopefully overnight, the night crew has got the things out at the stores that I'm eagerly awaiting my items. So my long-winded answer is today I'm going to go to those stores. I'm going to hit at least 2 of them up to see are they out. And if they are, then I'm going to go on a wild ride around the city, picking up all the things that I'm trying to get at those particular stores. So that's what I'm doing today. I did my Finance Friday earlier in the week, so I don't have to sit and do paperwork this week on Friday like I usually do. And we will be doing our weekly grocery shopping today. How about you?
Oh, usually you do that on Monday.
I know. I've been switching things around.
I am actually doing a Finance Friday. I was going to do it yesterday and I got stuck on the flat files, and they always just take more time than what I want to do. And then I've got it on my Trello board here. I've got a pallet coming between 9 and 1. She said 9 and 1. And that company just drives me crazy. Like there's 2 big carriers that deliver to my area, and I have them both on my speed dial. And so I called a week ago and I said, when are you going to be delivering? Because I want to make sure that I have to have a smaller truck and I have to have a lift gate. And they're like, oh, yeah. They're going to, so-and-so from booking is going to call you. And I'm like, okay, have her call me. And they never called. So the day before, they tried to deliver when I wasn't here. And I'm like, I said I was not going to be in the office on Valentine's Day. And that's why I called a week ago to let you know. Oh, yeah, so sorry. We were trying to get them not to. And then they did. Like, come tomorrow. I am here all day. And, I just go out of my way to try and have them not be frustrated and get the delivery. And they do the exact opposite of it.
Yeah.
I've got to get Easter in. Easter I've got here, and I need to get that in. And then I'd made some listings yesterday, so I got to see if they're live and good to go, and I got some ordering to do. So, yeah.
I took most of Wednesday off for Valentine's Day since my husband and I took it to have the day to ourselves to do Valentine things. And so it does put you kind of, you take one day off of Amazon. It's like it takes me 3 days to make up and get caught up.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I don't know about you, but my husband came down one time and he's like, "We're gonna come down and help out, and I'll do some packing for you, and we'll hang out and have lunch, blah blah blah." I'm like, "Okay, so you plan around that. I got stuff out, I got it ready to go because he doesn't know his way around the office very much. So I get the bags, get the thing, get a sample, and he was like, "Well, I'm gonna be late," and then it was, "I'm gonna be late," and then this and that and the other, and I said, "You just kind of mess up my flow because I feel like." I get my day
I
planned, and
structured everything for you to fit into this slot.
yeah, like I'm planning around you because you said you were going to be here from like 10 to 1, so I planned on that, and then you come
Yeah,
later.
some people think because we work for ourselves and we are our own boss and dictate our time that we're flexible. It just, hey, whatever.
Oh,
But it is a lot of work.
It is, and I've got things. I've got my UPS being delivered. I've got a FedEx coming in today. I've got Easter going out. I've got client work that I need to get done. So you got to plan out your day. It's not like I just show up and be like, "Oh, geez, what am I going to do today?" No, I'm planned out.
Target.com. Yeah.
And then tomorrow, what are we doing? We've been rewatching Ted Lasso with my son, so very exciting there. Exciting times. It's a good show. I love that show. All right, well, we got anything else to talk about today?
I've got nothing. So I'm shared all the things I had to share today. So as always, thank you guys for joining us every Friday. We appreciate you being here, hanging out with us. And we always hope you get at least one good takeaway that made it worth your time for hanging out with us. And if you haven't liked and subscribed to our channels, we stream this on both of our channels. So it's streamed on mine, Amazon Tips with Tina, and on Lucy's Reseller Mom. So make sure you subscribe to both of our channels because we do separate content outside of our live shows. I've not been so great about doing that lately because I've been so busy, but I do plan on getting back into being more diligent with it. Probably the beginning of hello. That reminds me of Medea. The beginning of April.
Seller, it's nice to see you again. I noticed your channel grew really fast. I looked over at you the other day and I was like, "Holy smokes, good job there." If you guys don't know him, go and give a like and subscribe to Cajun Root Sellers as well. All right, I just wanted to say that because
and we love some good Cajun food, some crawfish etouffee. I like gumbo.
Gumbo. Now I could do some gumbos. Making me hungry.
I've got some family in Louisiana. So anyhow, thank you guys for joining. And he says yes to some how-to videos. Yes. How-to videos are always helpful. Your videos, our videos, we all look for those on YouTube because that's what we want to know. That's why we go to YouTube, is how to do the thing.
Oh, catfish. Yeah, he does have Cajun fruit cuisine as well.
Nice. All right, you guys, with that, have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here next Friday.
Yes. All right. Take care, everybody.